The old man resolves to sail out farther than all the other fishermen and attempt to catch the really big fish. When someone faces failures again and again, we get pushed up. And he was so determined that he wanted to catch a very big fish. Other fishermen fish out small fishes, small, big, some big. But if we get a very big fish like a shark or something very big fish, then the income is double, tripled, right? So he determines, he has the willpower to catch the very big fish. He sails out. Sails out means what? He goes out and he sails through the seas and he is determined to find a very big fish. On the 85th day, he succeeds in hooking a marlin with his bait. 84 days this fisherman, who was having an assistant Manolin, did not find any fish. But on the 85th day, when Manolin left him and he alone sailed out to catch a big fish, he hooked a marlin, and marlin is nothing but the largest fish. Marlin, the large saltwater fish with an elongated body and the spear-like snot. Snot means the nose-like thing from where they respire. And marlin is a very large saltwater fish, and he succeeded in hooking that fish, in catching that. Hooking is nothing but catching a marlin with his bait. What is bait? In this picture you can see this part. This is the bait. Fishermen use bait to catch a fish. They put that yellow thing, you can see this, they put into the water and the fish thinks that it is food. And to get that food, the fish run towards that bait and the fisherman hooks them up. Such baits are used to catch fishes. And on the 85th day, the old man caught this fish with his bait. But the marlin was too strong for him and starts pulling the boat. Yes, the marlin was very large and this man, old man, was with low strength and the marlin very large. The old man was trying to pull the marlin, but the strength of marlin, that fish, was more than the old man. And so the marlin started pulling the boat with his strength. And this old man, how he struggled this situation, how he fought with the marlin, is told in the story. Each and every stanza, each and every word of the writer tells us the situation, how the old man was fighting with the marlin. The Old Man and the Sea is the story of the old man's struggle with the marlin. This story is all about nothing but how this old man, with determination, with dedication, with full of his strength, how he was fighting with that marlin, how he struggled to get that marlin, to hook that marlin up, and also the later battle against the sharks. This story not only is about the struggle between the marlin and the old man, but later this old man, this pretty old man who was not having much strength, he had to again fight with the sharks. So many sharks all around the boat and the boat only in the middle of the sea and many sharks surrounding the boat. This is a very dreadful situation if we imagine in that way. It's very dreadful. This is just a book review. So what did the person who read the book thought about the historical context? What was the historical context behind the book? Why did the writer feel to write the book? What is the history of this book? We can see in this stanza. Okay. Now we will see the historical context behind the book. What was the history to write the book? Why did the writer felt to write this story, the story of the old man and the sea? Why exactly, what happened, and all the history behind the book we are going to see in this stanza. Hemingway, Ernest Hemingway, he was the writer of this great novel, The Old Man and the Sea. Hemingway's novel is based on real events. Whenever Hemingway writes a novel, a book, a story, this is not a fiction. It is a real event which have occurred. And it also draws heavily on his own life. Draws heavily on is a phrase which means makes use of. He makes use of his own life, his experience, what he had experienced, what are the real life events, all these things he combines together to write a story. Not only the reality, but he also includes in that story the story of his life, his experiences about the life, and which makes the story more and more interesting. He had experience of fishing in the Cuban waters. And like the old man, he was also a fan of baseball. Yes, this Hemingway, the writer, he had an experience of fishing in the Cuban waters. As in this story, it tells us that the old man was the fisher in the Cuban waters. You can see, he always uses the things from his own life. हा जो रायटर आहे तो फक्त इमॅजिन करून लिहित नाही, तर तो स्वतःच्या लाईफ रिलेटेड थिंग्स आणि जे काही रिअल घडलंय या सगळ्यांना मिक्सअप करून तो स्टोरी तयार करतो. He had experience of fishing in the Cuban waters, and like the old man, he was also a fan of baseball. Ernest Hemingway, he was a fan of baseball. Here are some things told about his hobby. Even the old man, who is a fisherman in the story, he was also a fan of baseball when he was a youth. The old man and also the Ernest Hemingway. He worked for the Red Cross during the First World War. What is Red Cross? Red Cross, it is a society, Red Cross Society, and this organization is made by various nations to fight against human disasters. If any disaster occurs in the global situation, then this society, this Red Cross Society's members help to overcome that disasterable situation. And that time, this Ernest Hemingway, this writer, was the member of Red Cross Society. He worked for the Red Cross during the First World War, and that was the biggest global destruction ever. And after that, the Second World War. And that was the time when people were suffering a lot because their loved ones, their people, their family, everyone had lost their lives. There was great devastation all over the globe. And that was the time when this novel was published. And was injured by shrapnel when he was in Italy. During the First World War, Ernest Hemingway was in Italy. And he was attacked by shrapnel. What is shrapnel exactly? A small pieces of metal that fly during an explosion of a bomb or weapon to hurt people. Yes, if a bomb is put over and when the explosion occurs, small particles like this, in this picture you can see, the small particles which are very sharp, they all burst out. And when this bursted things attack a person or if it hurts a person, it hurts very badly. It goes to the depth and it hurts the person. And in the same way, Ernest Hemingway was attacked by the shrapnel. These kind of particles which came out from the exploded bomb. Okay. Hemingway always talks about the need to struggle against the defeat or death. Because why he always talks about struggling against life, struggling against death? Because he have came through it. He was almost on the face of death because he was attacked by the shrapnel. That shrapnel had struck him so bad that he was on the verge of dying. But he fought. He fought death and he came back again. So that was the experience of his life which he put it into the story. He always talks about struggling against death. Okay. And how determination and endurance can help one to win this struggle. This struggle against death is not easy. It's very difficult. And who can help us to win this struggle? First one is determination. We must be determined to win the struggle. As this writer was determined to win the struggle against death when he was shot by the shrapnel, the same way he had compared his life with that of the old man who was fighting against the sharks, the marlin, everyone. He compared these lives. Okay. And he told that determination is the key of success to fight against death. And endurance. What is exactly endurance? Ability to withstand difficult situation is known as endurance. When this old man was fought by the, he was attacked by the sharks. His endurance was very important. If he got feared by this attack, then he would have died at that particular spot. But he fought. His endurance helped him to overcome the situation. His ability to withstand the difficult situation. Okay, the old man is at the end of the novel very near to death. When the novel proceeds and proceeds, at the end of the novel, we see that the old man is almost on the verge of dying. He's in the face of the death. But we know that the story of his sufferings and loss. We know what this person is suffering from. First thing, for 84 days he had no fishes, he had no earnings, he had no money. We had seen his loss, we had seen his sufferings. What were his sufferings? He was not having money to live on livelihood. What would he eat? Right? What would he eat? What would he serve his family? These were the sufferings and the struggles which he had seen. We know that will live on in the memories of the people of his village. Will live on as a phrase, which means will be remembered. Though this person dies or leaves, we don't know. This old man, he may die or he may live. We will understand it when we will complete the novel, when we will finish the writing of the novel. But if he lives or dies, his struggles, his sufferings, his loss will be remembered by the people of his village all over, all the time. Ultimately, his story becomes one of the triumph, achievement. His story becomes an achievement because the tales of his life will live on even after his death. Yes. If this person dies, he will just not die. His memory, his determination, how he fought with the sharks, with the marlin, this all things will become a tale, a story. Tale is nothing but story. Will become a story which will live on after his death. जरी तो फिशरमॅन मेला ह्या स्ट्रगल मध्ये, या फाईट मध्ये, तरी त्याचे स्टोरीज नंतर सांगितले जातील. सो ही विल नेव्हर डाय, ही विल बी इमॉर्टल. राईट? This is book review. This creates a curiosity among us to read the book. We don't know whether this person will live or die. We will understand it at the end of the story when we read the book. As in the trailer we see whether the villain hits the hero or the hero hits him back. All the climax we will understand when we will watch the movie. The same curiosity is created by the book review. Okay. The novel was published in 1952. The novel was published in 1952 when people were trying to recover from the mass destruction. What is mass destruction? On high scale, on large scale. Large scale destruction brought by the two world wars. Brought about. This novel was published when people were facing from the world wars. World War I and World War II. When people were struggling against death. When people were watching their family members dying in front of them. When people were suffering from lots of bloody things all over their eyes. They were seeing people dying. And at this time, when people were recovering from these things, this novel was published. When people were trying to recover from the mass destruction brought by the two world wars, and this tale of endurance and ultimate triumph immediately struck a chord with the readers. Struck a chord is again a phrase which means triggered a feeling or memory. Now see, that situation was somehow that people were struggling for the family members who are dying. They were recovering. They were struggling against the attackers. And this story, when the readers at that situation, when they had faced the world wars, this struck a chord in their mind. Means it triggered a feeling. Means it pricked them. It pricked them to think how we can endure this situation. The tale of endurance. Endurance means what? To fight against the difficult situation, right? This story of endurance, that the old man, how he fought with the sharks, how he fought with the marlin, this story of endurance and ultimate triumph. Ultimate means at the end. Triumph means achievement, winning. At the end, the win of the old man. These all things were very important to make those people who are fighting against the world war be more and more stable, to make them feel that yes, we can win, we can overcome this bad situation. This was the ultimate thinking behind writing this novel at that time. This was the historical context why this story was written by Ernest Sir, so that these people can, when they read this story, they also have the feeling of endurance, and they also have the feeling that they can also win. Struck a chord with the readers, and this book was written by Ernest Hemingway, The Old Man and the Sea. How was the writing style of this book? This how has the writer written this book? What kind of language he has used? All this you will see in this paragraph. Hemingway's language is simple. Simple means easy to understand. Is easy words, not much vocabulary. Where leaders of lower areas can also, rural areas can read it. It was very simple. And pithy. What is pithy? Brief, full of vigor. It was pithy. Pithy means was brief. Brief in the sense he used to not elaborate the situations. What is exactly needed, he used to put that. And his language is simple and pithy. What is pithy? Brief, full of vigor. Vigor means energy. Whenever we will read his story, we will feel energetic. His story makes us feel energetic, that how the energy of the old man to fight the sharks, to fight the marlin, all these things. This story was filled with energy, but in simple words. He mostly writes in short and straightforward sentences. He not elaborates, agram pagram, like he just don't put all the things together, just straightforward. Whatever is needed, only that things. He just put those things in the story, and practices an extreme economy in his use of words. An extreme economy, this also is a phrase. What does it mean? Uses very few words to express his thoughts. He does not keep on elaborating the things. He does not make use of much vocabulary, but he uses very few words to put over his point. Whatever his thinkings are, he puts it into very simple language so that people can understand his language. Okay, this simplicity is deceptive. Yes. What is deceptive? Likely to make someone believe that is not true. This story is a reality, but he had also added some fiction. His story, when we read it, though we are reading it, but we feel it is real. It's happening right now in front of us. Deceptive is nothing but which makes us feel that it is happening. It is true. Right? Likely to make someone believe that is not true. And it is not true because we are reading it. It is not happening in front of us, right? But we feel, yes, we feel the situation. Yes, it is happening. It is happening. That is known as deceptive. This simplicity of language is deceptive. It makes us believe that yes, this situation is happening right now. And a reader can read his work again and again, repeatedly. Okay, and find new layers of meaning every time. His language is simple, but when we read it for the first time, not everyone understands it. But when we read it for the second time, we actually understand what this story is about. You might have seen Bahubali film first part. When we see it for the first time, it's very confusing. Yeah, what is happening? We don't understand. That movie is very confusing. But when we see it for the second time, third time, we realize what exactly the movie is about. What is the context of that movie? The same is our Ernest books. When we read it for the first time, we don't understand it. But for the second time, third time, we find new layers of meaning every time. New layers of meaning means what? We understand it in a better way. What would be the exact meaning of this sentence? We understand it when we read it for the next time. Okay. What were the thoughts of the person who has read this book, who has written the book review. Let's see what were his thoughts after reading the book. I first read this novel years ago when I did not understand it at all and was left unimpressed. He had read this book for the first time, but he was not impressed. He did not like the book because he did not understand what was written in the story, what was written in the novel. He just read it and just found it useless because he had read it years ago. Maybe he did not understand the sentences, so he found it unimpressed. In spite of this, a vivid image remained with me. Just see, if you don't like a book, if you don't like one lesson, you don't read it. You feel it's useless. I don't want to study this subject. If you see a geography lesson which you have not understood when your teacher taught you, you don't feel to read it again, right? You feel just let's skip this lesson. The same is the mindset of us. If we read a novel which we found useless, we are not impressed, we don't read it again. An image is put on in our mind that this book is not good. This lesson is not good. That is the image. Okay. In spite of means this is also a phrase which means without being affected by a particular factor. He was having that image in the mind that this book is not good, this book is not impressive. Okay. But in spite of that, of this vivid means what? Different image. Vivid means different. This different remained with me, an old man holding on with his fishing line with the last of his strength. This image was put up in the a person's head who had read the book, that this old man was putting full of his strength to fight against the marlin. That image was put on his mind, and that was again and again recoming in his mind, that how this old man would have fought with the sharks, these large sharks, not one or two, but many sharks this alone old man fought with. How would he done that? These things were just coming again and again in my mind. Recently I read this book again. These things were coming again and again in his mind. So he decided to read the book again. Though he found it unimpressed, but he thought, let's read it. Let's see what exactly, how did he fought with those sharks? Let's find out. And was extremely moved. First time when he read it, he did not understand. But the next time, he was extremely moved. Extremely moved means what? The story struck his heart. He was really very moved with it. The formidable strength of the old man's character, formidable causing fear. When we read the old man's character, we just goosebumps come to us. We feel feared. We just don't understand really how this old man could have fought with these sharks. It is just unbelievable. The quiet devotion of the empathetic Manolin. Empathetic means what? Empathetic means showing ability to understand feelings of another. That Manolin, he didn't wanted to leave this old man. He wanted to stay with him, but his parents had forced him to leave, this old fisherman. But he was he knew the situation of the old man. He knew the feelings of the old man. And this feelings, this attachment, this relationship was put into very beautiful lines by the writer. Okay, the devotion of empathetic Manolin. He was very devoted towards that old fisherman. But because his parents had forced him, he had to leave the fisherman. And the relations between the two are heartwarming. When we read the relation between Manolin and the old man, we really feel very heartwarming. It is heart-touching. The writer has put it into very beautiful words. Hemingway's description of the sea and the creatures of water are beautiful. We can imagine things easily. Someone can make us imagine things very easily. But to write it into words is a different art. And this writer has written the scene very beautifully. The water, the sharks, and all the things, the boat, the old man's situation, everything is written very beautifully in the novel. The marlin fights for its life desperately, and it's hard to know whether our sympathies should lie with the old man or with the marlin. Yes. The marlin fights for his life. The old man is trying to catch the marlin, the fish, because he wants to live life. If he catches this big fish, then he can earn lot of money and he can live his life. He is fighting for his life. The old man is fighting for his life, because if he gets the fish, he can earn and live. And this marlin is fighting for his particular life, because he wants to live. That fish wants to live. So these two people, the marlin and the old man, are fighting for their own lives. And when we read the story, we are confused whom to give the sympathy. Should we feel bad for the fish because that fish was going to die? Or should we feel bad for the old man because he was going to die because he was not getting any money? Right? So we will not understand whom to give the sympathy. But if we read the book, we will definitely understand whom our sympathy should be with. But as the novel progresses, the old man and the marlin are inseparably linked. First, sometimes we feel our sympathy should be with the old man because he desperately wanted the marlin because he was having no money. For 84 days he was without any fish. And at the another moment we feel pity for the fish because that big fish was going to die. This old man, this fisherman was trying to kill the fish. So when we read the novel and we come to the end, we find that these two things, the marlin and the old man, are inseparably linked. They are linked. And how they are linked? Let's see. Because both stand for is also a phrase which means represent. That both represent the same ideal, belief. What is the belief that they both stand for? The marlin and the old man. That is a noble struggle against destruction. A noble struggle against destruction. These two people are facing destruction and they both are struggling against their destruction. This old man is struggling against the marlin because he wanted money, he wanted his earnings, and if he would not catch this marlin, he would be destructed, he would be devastated. That old man would ultimately die with no money, with no food. So he wanted that. He was fighting against his destruction, and the fish was fighting against his destruction. Because if he would not fight with the old man, then he would surely die. That fish would surely die. So he was fighting against his destruction. So this story is at the end linked, that these two stand for the same thing, that is a noble struggle against destruction, the destruction of their lives. And this book review ultimately tells us that how we should be determined towards one thing. We should never leave hope that we will die. We should always think, yes, there is a hope. There are chances. And if we read this book, The Old Man and the Sea, we will understand, did exactly the fish die, or the old fisherman die, or who won this struggle? Did the old man was succeeded in hooking the marlin, or the marlin was succeeded in fighting with the old man? And who our sympathy should relate with? These all things we will find out when we will complete reading this book. So this is a short book review of the entire book, The Old Man and the Sea. And the book review is nothing but, in short words, a trailer of a film. So here we complete with the topic, The Old Man and the Sea, the book review. Thank you.